What's up, y'all? Welcome in. John here, staff software engineer, 10 plus years of experience. Today we're working on some open source. We're working on Laterally.io, and we're going to be working on this issue in particular. This GitHub issue represents 3 discrete features and or bugs. So it's could be 3 different tickets if I wanted to, but I'm going to try to do it all on one branch. So the first issue is that if I don't have an account, if I think I have an account, so I try to reset my password, currently there's an error. And this is not an informative experience for the user. So I want to fix that. Second, I don't like this UI, and these zeros shouldn't be here. The margin right here doesn't quite line up. And I think it would be nice to move the dollar amount to the upper right. And third, if you have not filled out a first name and last name in your profile, then it says that you're open to work and it has a blank there. So I want to put the user ID there and let people click to the profile even if you don't have your name attached. Then I'd like to enable recruiter search. So I can send this list of people who are open to work to a recruiter, but I've gotten feedback from recruiters that this is not super useful. What they'd like to know is how senior are they and what are their skills. So I want to allow top 3 skills, years of experience, and if you attach a LinkedIn, then a technical bio that recruiters can search on. All right, so let's dive in. $374 is the GitHub issue. Okay, so I am now even with main. And let me start up the UI. Here's my local host. Cool, and so I'll start with this formatting, which I think should be relatively quick. I'll find this unique string. Okay. In this unique string, I want to adjust the margin or padding. I'm not quite sure. Let's try both. So here I'll adjust the, let's see, wrapping the H2 pricing plan. No, we want to wrap, get it for free. Get premium for free. So this P2, let's make it a P4. And that doesn't resolve the issue. That doesn't resolve the issue. The green region, go to computed. It is padding. It is padding. But if I adjust it, the whole thing seems to expand. Ah. Okay, so I should alter the existing margin to only have margin on the bottom instead of all the way around. So it's a margin issue, not a padding issue. Okay, so Control Z, undo that padding change, and then the M2, I'll change to an MB2. These are Tailwind styles. M2 puts margin all the way around. MB puts margin only on the bottom. And you can see that fixes the left and right alignment there. So that's good. Let me log out. When I'm logged in, you don't see the zeros. When I'm logged out, you see these weird zeros. Okay, so here are the plans. And here's a map call on the plans list. This is producing those components that might show a 0. So here, I'm thinking it's this. I'll do a fake string just to show that it shows up. And it doesn't show up. So that's not the issue. That's not the issue. I'll bring this over to Cursor and I'll grab a screenshot. Let me grab a screenshot of the whole pricing plan section. So I'll ask Cursor for my whole wish list and maybe it'll be able to do it in one pass. Let me stage the existing situation. That is a different repo. That's not relevant. Collapse these other repos. Okay, so here is the pricing change that I have that I like. I've got that staged, so if Cursor messes it up, no problem. I'll say in the pricing grid, why do these zeros show up only when the user is logged out? You know what? I think even as I'm typing it, I think I realized the issue. I think it's the logged out plan button passing plan ID 0. Nope, I think that's wrong now. Sorry. False. Okay. Oh. In addition, I would like the $40 per month to show up in line with the premium heading, floated to the left as a distinct element, not as part of the heading subheading style. The style is good, just change the rendered layout. Okay, so while it's looking, I'm going to continue to guesstimate. Yeah, I think it's this current user thing. So let's try whatever Cursor proposes. And I'm going to go ahead and commit this stage change here to keep it separate. There's a lot of formatting changes the linter ran. But the key fix here is a style fix. Free premium text margin, we'll commit that. I'll go ahead and publish the branch, and then I will push. Now we can accept what Cursor has said. In the meantime, I can draft a PR now that I've pushed something. We'll say that it closes 374. All right, that build will run and make sure that the build is passing. Welcome in. By the way, there's some TikTok issue. I can't see the chat messages from TikTok. You can check the bio and go over to YouTube or Twitch, and I'll be able to see your message there. Thanks for being here. So here's what Cursor has proposed. It wants to remove the comments. I'll retain them. Let me hit Control S to apply formatting, just so I'm not looking at the formatting change. Oh, it changed my backticks to double quotes. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing interpolated there, so double quotes are fine. Justify between is what it did. Okay, that could work. Let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Good job, Cursor. So it fixed the alignment, but it didn't fix the zeros. I guess it's fine to remove that comment. What about this other one? Yeah, that's fine. We can delete those comments. I guess they're all fine. Oh no, here's the issue. That free has no join button. Free has no join button. That's bad. Let me just pull this back. And I think I can stage everything else. Okay, and so this will be inlining the prices. This is really a style thing. All right. I'm prompting it with a question. I don't want it to only fix the code. I want it to tell me what's going on. I like using questions because they improve the verifiability of the code change, because I get an explanation along with the code change. The zeros are coming from the plan ID. Okay, that's reasonable. When rendering the logout plan button, we passing plan ID directly. Yes, that's intended. But that doesn't fix the issue. So I still see the 0. This is going to be my last try prompting, and then I'll use a process of elimination based debugging strategy if that doesn't work. So the model is now realizing that it's coming from elsewhere. It's added mauto, which should be irrelevant, but let's just guess and check here. Nope, I still see the zeros. Okay, so, and that has sort of like disturbed the look and feel. So I'm going to discard these changes. And I'm going to, instead of the elimination based, I'm going to first inspect the HTML. Okay, I can see it's coming from this bit. It's rendering it prior to the anchor. This is the only location with that class combination. So here is where it's coming from, benefit list item. Yeah, so this is the component under issue. If it has a URL, do the thing. Otherwise, do this other thing. These are the benefit list items. So that seems to, oh. Where's a UL? So this is a list item. Before the particular item, there's a UL. So it's showing up like here somehow. What if I comment this section? Do I still see it? Now we're kind of doing that elimination-based debugging, and I still see it. So that means that I rule out these lines of code as the issue. Plan price. That might be it. Still doesn't quite make sense, but we'll comment all of this. We'll find it. join now. I'm just going to keep commenting things until I eliminate the 0. Current user and, I think it's this. I think this might be a 0 when you're logged out, yeah. Okay, so let's confirm it. I expect it now to vanish. There we go. So that's the root cause. So the current user, it's a short-circuiting double and. And in the case of 0, when you're logged out, that's false. So it renders the literal. And so the typical solution here in React is don't use the and, use this operation. And in fact, I want to wrap the whole bit here. And that's kind of complicated, so I'll extract it to a variable. This will say, what will this say? Idiomatic of a Boolean should be a should. Should, is, or has. Should render logged in link. I think that makes sense. If it should render logged in link, then we'll use this link. Otherwise, it will be null. So I'll say should render logged in. Yeah, that's fine. Logged in button. Logged in link. It's a link, really. It's not a button. Should render logged in link. Here I'm turning it into a ternary. And in the false case, I will have null. That will get rid of the 0. Now I need to compute this variable that I'm using. Okay, so there's the expression that computes it. We extracted that to make it more readable. And now that I have this bit, I need another closing brace. So I open the brace. I'm following the highlighted parenthesis. It's a light blue. And there I can see I need to insert the brace. And Cursor already figured it out, but I figured it out too. Okay, now this whole nested expression seems relatively complicated. So that should work. Let's confirm it. Good. Got rid of the 0. You can do a quick regression check. Okay, let me use the Google sign-in. Forgot my password or something. Okay, so logged in, logged out, it still looks good. Let's log back out. Logged in and logged out, it looks good. I'll go ahead and commit this, but I want to extract that component. So I'll call this feature should render logged in link. Let's push that up. But now I would like to extract this down here. And what should I call this? For each plan, so I could call this a plan div. I think it's going to be a card. I think we can call it a plan card. Let me do BG red. It'll just stick out. I'll be able to see it really well. I think it's this card, and I guess red didn't work. Oh yeah, I need to do what, like red? I need to give it a number or something. BG red 100. Got the tailwind fixing the syntax there. So we can see that is the card, and it's now red. It's really, really obvious, right? So I think it's fair to call this component a card. Let me undo that so it's back to white again. And I will cut this whole div, and we will map. So I'm collapsing the div, and we will map to a card. So I'll return plan card. Okay. Now let me make a plan card. And you can see cursor is trying to anticipate what I'm doing. Let's go for it. Why not? Okay. But I want to map right at this div here. So I'm missing some things. I need the index passed as well. I guess that should be a key, not just an index. It's not really good practice to use your index as your key. You can do it, but it's not recommended. Linters will sometimes complain. And I want to pass the current user. Okay, there's the current user. And then I want to pass a key. But instead of I want to do something else. Maybe I'll hash. I'll use the plan ID. That's a great key. Now my Boolean could be all of these different things. And that's why the linter is complaining. It expects that it will just be a Boolean. So I can wrap all of this and cast it to a Boolean. So now it's always going to be true or false. Current user has this complicated structure that's an unexpected structure. I'll turn this into so that it's actually either a null or a user. So now it's expecting user or null, which is informally correct, but formally the type is not a perfect user. It's like a, it's similar to a user, but it's a little bit of a different type. So where can I get the proper type? Where's that current user coming from? It's the type returned by this thing. Get current user. It's an augmented user. It's a user that also has the subscriptions here. Okay, so so this is a perfect user right here. Oh no, it's not. It comes with the subscription. So how can I explain this type? It's user and, yeah, this is actually the more correct type. So I'll call this an augmented user type. I'll call this user with subscription. User with subscriptions. Okay, so here's the user with subscriptions. And the type checker is happy with that. Alias. And so let's bring it in here and we'll specify that the current user is user with subscriptions or 0, a literal 0. Null result TRPC int. Do I define that anywhere? I do, look at that. Okay. That seems good. It seems good to use that. So it's a public procedure, and that's where I can get a 0 if there's no one logged in. Yeah, okay. So the return type is... Yeah, how do I type this? Output. I don't think I can do this, can I? Let me undo that and then I'll stage it and then throw it to cursor to fix the type syntax. So here's the user router. Drag this over to cursor. Let me also save this even though it's in a bad state, and I'll stage it just so that I don't lose anything. So I have the user router given a cursor and I want to say get current user, the public procedure, has an output return type of please type the method explicitly. So the type is already working like implicitly, but I want it to do it explicitly. Does that make sense? Quick reminder, TikTok, I'm unable to see the TikTok chat. I'm not really sure why. Sorry about that. Oh, now it's here. I can never tell with TikTok. Xord, welcome in. Xord says collection property. What's up, Xord? So this promise syntax looks good to me. And I should use the type of here. Type of, which will be a literal 0, but that's okay. This is more semantic. It's more of a semantic type. And so what can I say that? Export. Cool. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, so then this current user is user with subscription or 0. We imported that. Good. And then it'll be cast to null by the time we get to the current user plan card. I don't think we need to cast it to null. We can let it be this or 0. How do I handle the current user here? We can get rid of that comment now. I don't think it's used at all, is it? What's it used for? Oh, it's used down here. Yeah. I don't really need to flip it. I can just say if there's a current user. Yeah, let me flip that. There's not really a reason to invert it. Okay. And so now I don't need the nullish coalescer. It's a little bit cleaner, not a big deal, but a little bit cleaner. I think this looks good. Let's stage all that. All right, so it looks good. How's it look on mobile? We haven't done anything mobile specific, but it still looks good. Sup. What are we building? We're fixing this user story. So there was some style improvements that we could do. There's like the 0 that shouldn't render that we just solved. There's like a margin issue on this bit of text that we just solved. So those are the things that we solved. This is all latterly.io. Link is in the bio. It's open source. Legree, Christian Legree, welcome in. How do you think tech is going to be when I graduate in 2030? Tech is going to be great. Tech is doing fine now, and it's going to keep doing fine. Your boy is Steve. You guys see code, but all he sees is blonde, redhead, brunette. I think it's a joke, but I don't get it. Sorry. Welcome in anyway. Maybe you can explain your joke to me. Sorry that I didn't, that I'm not smart enough to get it. So what's the feature here? I think we can name the feature after this card here. Okay, so at this point, I've seen some Vercel build failures. Let's see what it's mad about. We might have already solved it with that 0 change. Okay, so there's an escaping issue. Yeah, I don't think we ever solved an escaping issue, at least not explicitly. The line change is going to be different. I'll let it come back and tell me what the new line is. From the matrix, man. Okay. Is there a benefit from using TypeScript versus React? Sometimes React can be heavy. So I'm using both. So this is TSX, React with TypeScript. Sometimes React can be heavy, it's true, but it's also the lingua franca of the web today. It's the normal way to do things. So if you go by jobs, like who's hiring for what, React is the big main framework. So you would want to have a reason to deviate. So yeah, it can be heavy, but like I'll show you my Vercel performance score. We're on Vercel over here. You see that 99? That 99 says that when we're compiling, it's really, really fast. And so it's actually not heavy in terms of creating latency or a poor user experience. I think it means TypeScript versus JavaScript. Look, types have all sorts of benefits. One, they improve language model understanding of your code base. So the language model can read the type. 2, they improve correctness of your code, so you prevent bugs. 3, they improve developer ability to read. So in JavaScript, you can have a variable like banana, but banana could be like any kind of a data type. Like, what is banana? Is banana a string? Is banana an object? Is banana, I don't know, a list? I don't know why it would be, but I've seen crazier things. So that's another reason that we like types, so that you know what data you're dealing with. Super frustrating to try to debug and you have a variable and like you don't know, what do I even expect to be here? Let's say that you find the variable and you find out it's an object and you're like, okay, banana object, it makes sense, but why am I getting this error? What is it supposed to be? I don't know. That's where types help. Also, unit tests are another way to do that. Xord says TypeScript will throw an error at compile time instead of a runtime error with JavaScript. That's right. We want to catch those bugs early, and it should break my build. I like it to break my build. Broken builds are good things because what they mean is we're able to fix it before it breaks the website for the end user. Great call. Throw some likes on the video if you're enjoying it so far. That will help the algorithm send the video to other people so they can learn to code too. Brandon, thank you for the share. All right. By now, I think Vercel ran. Vercel ran again. So let me close some of these. Close. And now I can get the updated line number. There's some kind of a encoding issue, but I don't know the line number. Now it's on line 193. Oh, and we're getting some lint errors that I can improve. So on line 6, let's expand these. On line 6, I have an import that's only types. And then 139. So line 6, this is only a type, so I can use the type operator. Then 139. Yep, here it is. Employers. This is the deal. This is the deal. So we can encode it like that. That should get rid of the issue. And then in the user router, user and subscription are only types. So we can specify they are type imports. Yeah, I think even the enum, yeah? Oh no, the enum is used as an object as well. Okay. So we will type them inside of the import statement. This is a fix build with explicit type imports and escaped apostrophe. Hey all, I hope you'll check out Latterly.io. Link is in the bio. You can sign up for free. You can join the Discord. Accelerate your career. Even if you already know how to code, maybe you're looking for going to junior to senior, let's get that knocked out faster. Latterly has all sorts of tips. Jacob says, I'm building a small local startup around my college with React front end and a Spring Boot back end. Cool, Jacob. Thanks for being here. Good luck with that. Feel free to join the Discord and you can share a link to it. You can get the word out for your startup. I can definitely empathize with that. I'm a small, really open source maintainer. It's not actually a business, but it feels kind of like a small business. Ice King says, you take in newbies? Absolutely. Absolutely. Soren, thanks for the follow. Okay, so we have fixed the, we fixed this thing. Let's go to the next thing. Let's go to this one, member profiles. So if I go over to member profiles, you see there's some people who are empty here. This is not good. So I'll go to the community page, Control P, community, PAGETSX, and I'm looking for the one under the Latterly IO. Here we go. This is the right one. And it's got this client community page. So this is the client component, use client up at the top there. And what's the issue? The issue is that when I have a user, I'm trying to get their name, but they might not have filled out their name in their settings. Okay? Username first or user ID. Okay, so theoretically that does what I want. Why is it not being rendered? Is there like a space character in that person's name? What if I do this and I force it to show the ID? That works. That works. Zoomed it in there for you a little bit. I'm doing a guess and check, so that fixed it. So why does or work, but the nullish doesn't? Because it's an empty string. Yeah, so empty strings are falsy, but they don't get consumed by the nullish coalescer. Nullish coalescer is looking specifically for null or undefined. So if it's an empty string, it's considered truthy with respect to this operator. I think the better thing to do here is just to do a good old-fashioned ternary. And here I will say name, or let's call this name display name. The display name will be, do you have a first name and a last name or no? User first name. User last name if you have it. Okay, it's the user first name, the user last name if you have it. We need to do this inside of the user map function. Okay, so it's your user, your first name, and then if you have a last name, this is getting kind of ugly, huh? So I could do a sub interpolation. That's pretty ugly. I think what I want to do is use a more primitive concatenation. So it's first name and last name. No, I don't even want your last name because that'll just be too long. That's why I decided to use the first name. I was going to do this and then trim it, and if it's falsy after trim, use the ID. But here, I'm just going to go, yeah, with the ternary. With the ternary. So if you have a first name, we'll use it. Otherwise, we use the last name. But now it does seem trivial enough, I can throw it back in the expression. So I contradict myself. Oh well, this is going to end up being cleaner to just leave it as an inline. Cool. So Matthew is open to work. Shout out Matthew. And then this is user 162. Here's user 162. Good, I think this looks good. And so this is also has a bunch of formatting changes, but this is fix missing usernames. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for being here. Hope you'll follow the page and see you next time. Coding Mountain Man, what's up on YouTube? Wanted to drop by and encourage you to keep going, keep climbing. I gained 500 subs today out of nowhere. Congrats, Coding Mountain Man. Y'all can check out on YouTube.